Hail to the king, baby.
Hey everybody, it's me, Michael B. Welcome back to another episode of Chill and Chat with Michael B. I just got to make sure my audio's working because sometimes that shit does not work, but I am live and in living color. It's Monday, you know what that means. We've got some fun stuff to talk about. As always, this show is about my views on the home arcade space, what I'm interested in, what I think of things, and hopefully that helps you whether or not you want to make arcade purchases or what you're interested in. And I love hearing from you guys too. So tonight, specifically, we're going to be looking at three topics, but I got a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. First up, the GRS Buildicade FU Kickstarter goes live this Friday. Is it Friday? June 25th. What's today? Is today the 23rd? Gonna double check here. Today's 23rd. Wednesday, the Kickstarter goes live. So we're going to take one final last look at it. And we already know that target number with Glenn is 200 units. There's a poll up for you guys to participate in. Do you think Glenn's going to be able to sell 200 units, with 100 of those units being $1,000, and then 100 of those units being the 26-inch model at $1,200. Also, AtGames are finally delivering Killer Instinct and Battletoads, the other part of the Rare Pinball Pack. We'll take a little bit of a look at the information they put out. These are going to be launching tomorrow. Are you surprised? The wait is finally over. Holy shit, it was only like six months we had to wait for those to come out. It's been a long stretch for those who purchased the Rare Pinball Pack. Hopefully the wait is worth it. And then last but not least, I'm going to talk a little bit about Basic Fun, and this is more of a follow-up from the episode I did last week. I talked about Basic Fun. I talked about my excitement, but unfortunately, due to reasons outside of my control, I may be out already. But before we get into that, I want to say hello to the people that are here in the chat, the people that have joined me live. Thank you so much for supporting me, being here. Believe it or not, this is episode 230 of Chill and Chat with Michael B. Think about that, 230 episodes of a live streaming show that you people have come to, all because I bought a Blue Yeti mic one day and just wanted to test it out and see if I could live stream. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I actually have a little bit of anxiety. So I didn't know if this is something I'd be good at, something I could do. But surprisingly, it's gone pretty good so far, I suppose. Anyways, saying hello to the people here in the chat. I see Porta Dream 230th anniversary is the Clay anniversary. Thank you very much. AtGames showing some sign of life. It's glad somebody's showing some signs of life. Who else we got here? The chat keeps moving. Rotundo, Ritual Delos here. Mike Hawkhurts. Well, I just missed him. Straker Cage, because the chat keeps going up. Mike Hawkhurts is here. Always good to see you in the building. Did they find termites in the factory? No, I don't think it's something that's going to be pressing for most of you guys. It's just pressing for me. B Kirby's here. What's up, B Kirby? Good to see you. The real Zim. Get in there, Zim. MSU Rich, Mark James, Nick's Arcade. Nick, thanks for joining us for Mario Kart last Friday. Sith Lotus says, Mikey Two Pins, Rare Pinball sounds great. Looks pretty good too. Who else we got here? Stupid Fat Hobbit, good to see you. John Fritz, Retro Day, good to see you as always. Bill's Retro Gaming Show, Professional Bill, always professional, always serious. MG is here. Sorry, can't make the show. Family in town. And I'm also not a huge fan of Michael's Monday Night Show. Good evening. That's fair, MG. Cruel, but fair. All right, who else we got here? John Fritz, if I didn't say anything yet. The B-Me is here. Good to see you. J-Rod, always one of the earliest people joining the show. Thank you very much. Duggar5150, finally catching it live. What up, people? Thanks for being here. Odd but Cools, hey-ya to you too. Distillery Gaming's here. Good to see you, my man. Who else we got? Gramps Arcade is here. Good to see you, brother. And then we had Jay Fritz. JJ is here. He has a Legends Ultimate Mini with the rotating screen, streaming, and side loading. Plus, I bought a 52, so I'm not going to get one. But if I didn't have those two items, then I might. He, of course, is talking about the GRS Buildicade FU. Dan Z, Dan in St. Louis, always good to see you, my man. Now, let's go down to the bottom of the chat. See if anybody else joined. Goofy Foot. Goofy, good to see you as always. Goofy recently watched Barbarian, the horror movie. Absolutely loved it. Dragon Gamer is here. Jim, the Pacers fan. Good to see you. James hates everything. Good luck to GRS. Wishing Glenn huge success. But now you have to tell us, are you going to buy one, James? Are you in? Saved by Zero. Good to see you. Hockeytown Arcade. Dr. Torque. There is so much pent-up demand for quality arcades. I'm in all the way. We're so judging you so you don't choke. Thanks, man. Oh, saying spirits. Funny stuff. No, Mr. Clutch, I will not be buying one simply because of the fact that it's not available in Canada. The Kickstarter is for U.S. residents only. So I'm out. Any decision or any thought in the process has been taken away from me. Thumper Squid, good to see you as always. Raid from Gamer Fridge. Love that Gamer Fridge. I got to tell you a story. I usually watch Gamer Fridge before I do my show tonight. But unfortunately, tonight I had to work. I had a National Board of Directors meeting literally right up until it was 9:30 my time, which was 8 p.m. Eastern. So as soon as I got off that, I had to rush, get the show set up, and get here. It was a literal photo finish. Ritual Dello says, I'll push it to you on a raft. Woo, there we go. MG, two people raid from Gamer Fridge. S2, that's Switch 2. Got you, not 52. 19K Fox says he's back in the Hello Kitty coin pusher. One day, no, I can't imagine that'll ever come, MG, but if it does, I'll still probably work. I like what I do. All right, guys, so let's get started. First up, we're going to take a look at the GRS Buildicade, which is going up for Kickstarter in just a couple days. So I want to bring this up on screen and just talk about it a little bit for you guys. Let me get the view that I like the most. No, that's not it. Is that it? Nope, don't like that. Don't like that. There we go. I like this one. Board meeting. No. It was important stuff. Calvin Wong, good to see you. There we go. It's one of my favorite jokes of all time. Norm Macdonald is one of my favorite comedians ever. I absolutely love him. Dirty Work, one of my favorite movies of all time. There's a famous clip of him on Conan O'Brien with Courtney Thorne-Smith, and she's talking about she's going to be in the Carrot Top movie. And he says, hey, I know what the title of that movie is going to be. Box office garbage. And anyways, she said, no, the title is actually Chairman of the Board. And Conan says to Norm, he says, do something with that, you sicko. And Norm goes, yeah, I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D. Amazing. I got my Trapper Keeper background up. I like to mix it up. There we go. Ah, look at that. Fish and chips arrived. MG knows how to eat well. No more campfires from, what is it, Cracker Barrel. I wish we had Cracker Barrel here in Canada. There we go. All right. So, guys, I did want to talk about this. There's a couple things from the GRS Buildicade that, I'm really excited for. I'm very anxious to see how this does. I wish Glenn all the success in the world. Before we talk about the product, I do want to talk about just going into this, some of the things that maybe I think were, not really the best way you could do it. I'm still not sold on the name, the GRS Buildicade FU. I've said it a million times. I think that name is terrible. I think Glenn is shorting himself. I know he says it's full side unit and then says for you, but I will say there he is, Glenn. I hate your name. You already know that. The one thing I do worry about a little bit in this, and some of the communication Glenn has done leading up to this, is, there is some spite and there's some resentment. And I think anybody who's watched Glenn for the last little while knows that that is 100% earned, like 100%. He deserves to feel that way. He deserves to have some spite and resentment towards Arcade OneUp in a lot of things. Like, he calls them Arcade Done Up. He's very clear about that, talks about their product, talks about, like, now they've got a competitor with this, and he calls the FU. And we all kind of know that it really means it's an FU to Arcade OneUp and stuff like that. I will say this. I wish that focus and that resentment wasn't there. Maybe it's a sales tactic to kind of build around his audience and the people that have followed him for years, and maybe that's something that works. But for me, I think Glenn has an amazing product here, an amazing concept. I wish that the focus was more on that product and less on the resentment. And that's just my opinion. Glenn responds with FU. That's fair. That's fair. But anyways, I do think that the other thing, again, that I've been pretty critical with this is, of course, the shape of the Buildicade FU. Glenn has talked about it. I can't remember the name of the arcade, but the shape itself of the basic Buildicade is kind of a weird shape. It is based apparently on a classic arcade, but might not be everybody's cup of tea. The good thing is it does transform with the Glintendo hood into the Donkey Kong Nintendo style cabinet. So that's a positive. So with those things out of the way, I do want to talk about this. We know right now that Glenn's goal right now is to sell 200 units. When I was talking to Glenn early in this process, the idea was Glenn was going to hopefully need to hit a target of 500. With the 200 units, I think that's going to be very reasonable. I go back to comparables and price. So, I mean, the price on this going down, scrolling down on this, for the early bird edition, if I can ever get there, is $1,000. So I mean, I wouldn't really call this a comparable, but I'll throw it out there. Another comparable would be Arcade OneUp's Pro Killer Instinct Cab. It took them a while, but they had to sell 500 of those. They only produced 500. It took them a couple of years. The other comparable I want to compare it to is, of course, the iArcade Gold Edition, which we never really figured out how many they actually sold. Some people are saying that it was roughly around 186. So 200 is certainly a achievable number, I think, in this community. The question is it going to surpass that number? We know it's got to be 200. Right now, there's going to be 100 early birds at $1,000, $999 off pricing, just for just for that Walmart pricing to make you feel like it's not $1,000. So $999 for the 19-inch with the automatic rotating screen, and then 100 units at $1,200. So if Glenn can sell 2 of these early bird specials, then the project's funded. It's going to go ahead. Really quickly now, we had a super chat here from my buddy B. Kirby, the Chicago arcade guy. I think Glenn always bad-talking other companies makes him look a little bit bitter, jealous man. He has to chill with that BS. See, that's the point I wanted to bring up, and it's not 100% on Glenn. I understand where that comes from, but you also got to remember that there's some people out there have no idea what this history is, have no I stand with Glenn side on this or anything like that. And when they see that stuff out there, it just is confusing to them. And I mean, you're trying to launch a new product and taste me. I am bitter, but sweet like butter, sweet butter like dark chocolate. Middle finger up. See, I wish that the focus wasn't on that, because there's going to be people that I think honestly outside this space that are going to be interested in this product, that all that stuff's going to be lost on them, and the focus should just be on the product, because the product is really fucking good. This is a really cool concept with a lot of possibilities for the future. It's basically this giant multicade with either a 19-inch rotating screen, if you're going to build the Nintendo cab, that's the direction I would advise you to go in, or the giant 26-inch Unico monitor. There's so much potential for what could be done with this, especially for the price. We already know the controls are going to be badass. I wish there was more focus on just the product and less on this rivalry, bitterness, competition, because it's going to get lost in translation for a lot of people. Maybe it will be a rallying cry for the hardcores, the I stand with Glens, the, people that feel like disenfranchised by the evil big arcade companies, but it's just not necessary. Let your product speak for itself. There you go. It doesn't mean full-size unit, and it doesn't mean for you. I don't care what you say. Focus shows in the quality of what you're getting. Yes. And I believe the quality will be there. I believe it will be an amazing product. But I do think it's a rough name. That's one thing that could really kind of knock it down. The FU doesn't really translate to full-size unit. It doesn't make sense. Even the Buildicade name, like for the smaller arcade, I kind of get, but for the full-size arcade, I think this could have been named a little bit differently. And I'm hoping that naming convention doesn't impact the growth of this, because I think this will definitely get made and it will sell, but I see endless potential with this, and I think it will be a lot more successful with a more trendy, on point name. I will just say that. Buildicade fun. See, Mike Huckerts, I agree with you. I don't agree with the automatic rotating screen. For me, I hope that there's no issues with it, and I think that could have been left out. As long as the screen rotates, I think most people are fine with it. The fact that auto rotates between which game you're going to go into is fine, but I always worry about the long term. Will that mechanic still work? Oh, Glenn, now you're really pushing it. What does FU mean? Happiness, blessing the Chinese character means happiness, blessing, and good fortune. People across China have the tradition to paste this character on their doors or windows. Oh my God. Nope, there you go. I don't believe you, Glenn. I think it's spite. I will die on that hill. I think it's spite. Fully upright cabinet. Anyways, guys, so keep an eye on this. Glenn's Kickstarter goes live June 25th. The important thing here is, if you guys want to support Glenn, obviously, if you're interested, buy the cabinet. But the other thing is, Glenn's not a major corporation. There isn't a major marketing push for this. There's not going to be all kinds of Google ad placements. There's not going to be ads in magazines. Might be something in Old School Gamer magazine, something like that, a publication he's already gone with. But the important thing here is word of mouth. So if you want to support Glenn, and even if you're not going to buy the product, but you think you might know people that are interested, tell your friends about him. Put the word out there about the cab. Let people know what is going on, what they can get. Share the Kickstarter on your Facebook page, on your social medias. Let's help Glenn out. Let's spread the message. Let's make sure the Buildicade FU not only sells the 200 units, but surpasses that mark. Hopefully, they had the same successful launch that, of course, Wonderland Pinball received. I think so. I think there's enough people in the community, again, based on the sales figures I gave for both Arcade One-Up's Killer Instinct Pro, and for the iArcade Gold, that 200 mark is very reasonable. Of course, I asked the people, yeah, but that's not for the Buildicade. That's not for the Buildicade. That's for his Italian, his Italian endowment. Just 3 days away. If it makes it, it makes it. If not, I will still make other great items for you. Glenn, it's going to make it. It's going to make it. Everybody here in the chat, make sure to share it out. Share the Kickstarter when it goes live. Even hell, when it's not live right now, tell people about it. Help Glenn out. Let's spread the word of mouth. Let's get the Kickstarter out there. So just to go over this, I know it's been gone over a million different times. The big jump-ins that you want to take a look at going down here, $9.99 for the early bird. 100 of these units will be available. That includes the Buildicade FU 19-inch automatic rotating screen, then 100 early birds of the Unico 26-inch 4x3 monitor. Also rotates, but it manually rotates. $1,200 for that one. And then there's a early bird pack, 16% off for the that's going to be everybody else who purchases after the first 100. It's going to be $1,200 for the GRS Buildicade FU, $1,400, which is still a great price with that 26-inch 4x3 Unico monitor. You got to think about how much that thing costs by itself. Go actually go to Unico's page, price that out, and just think about the value you're getting with this. Really cool stuff. Then, of course, we've got the mega pack that comes with everything, the DK hood. Now, for me with the DK hood, I'd go with a 19-inch screen because that's closer to what the original cabinet had. So that's the one I would go with there. But they've also got the all-in with the DK hood with the 26-inch screen. Comes with all the joysticks, all that stuff. And then there's the super mega pack, which, you know, it's a bit overkill, but I do like this because it comes with the Glintendo hood. Plus, then you actually get to build your Donkey Kong cab and then get the 26-inch Unico. If this was available and I had tons of money, this is the way I would go because I want to build a recreation Nintendo cab, specifically Donkey Kong. Plus, I want a giant multi-cade, and that's what the 26-inch Unico screen would be. So that's my feeling on it. I just want you to have the best at the lowest price. Always been my goal to make fun items that you can really enjoy. And if I can stick it to Arcade One-Up through the product name and my messaging going into this campaign, I certainly will do that. That was extrapolation, Glenn. I read that part. I wish you had called it something else. I'm not going to lie. I will always stick to that. Anyways, guys, Buildicade FU, 3 days away. Share it out. Tell people about it. And guys, let me know, and Glenn's here in the chat as well, if this is something you're interested about. I'm calling bullshit. Bullshit again. What? They said no 16:9, no buy. Ah, Jesus Christ. Why would anybody want a 16:9? Awful. Billy Woods Mod says the FU is the perfect name. Jason S says the FU is ready. All right, guys. So I had a poll up. Let me take this down. I had a poll up in the chat. Do you think Glenn is going to hit his target? And right now we've got 114 votes, 37% saying yes, we'll sell way more than the 200. 12% saying no, will not come close to 200. 30% saying maybe it'll be right around 200. And then 21% saying don't care. So, I mean, that's a really, really strong 66% of the vote saying he's going to hit that 200 mark. So I'm going to end the poll right there. Thank you very much, everybody, for participating in that one. We'll have a new poll in a couple minutes. But I didn't see 60% saying no. I didn't see that, Bill Kirby. I saw 60% saying yes. All right, guys. You only support widescreen gaming. I'm sorry. Do you know of a 4x3 multi-cade I can currently purchase in Canada, Justin? If you do, you can tell me. Welcome, Glenn. It's the truth. There you go. Thanks, all appreciate it. All right, guys, show your support of Glenn here in the chat now. If you intend to support Glenn's Kickstarter on the 25th, throw a 1 in the chat. Let Glenn know you're going to be buying a GRS Buildicade FU. We've got 151 people here. Let's show them how many people here alone plan on buying this cabinet. Don't Panic, Dragon Gamer, John Fritz, Billy Woods Mod, The Beamy. Who else we got here? Dr. Torque is in. Scott B is a 0.5. I don't know where that goes. Jim, the Pacers fan, throwing up the 1. Glenn, it looks like you're going to get a lot of support. J-Rod, Herm, Hockey Town Arcade, Tony Unipopoulos, Uniopolis. I can't say that right, Tony. I'm so sorry. Coog says 1. Who else we got here? Bobby ALU's out. Sir Sega's in. Bill Kirby's out. Conti's in. Conti's going to have to pull some voodoo, a little bit of Shipsies action to get that here in Canada. Stephen Franz is 1. Dan Z is 1. Waiting for the chat to come down. Rotundo is 1. Mr. Clutch is just a question mark. J-Rod says he's buying 2. Look at that. Dustin Reverman's buying 1. It's been a long day. I just spilled some coffee on myself. Scott B says 0.5 means a maybe. That's fair. Tony's getting the 26. Oh, thank you very much, Novasonic. Uniopolis. Thank you. I don't think this is about Glenn versus Arcade OneUp. I think he likes to take digs and stuff like that, but this is more so about getting a good product out there for people. Again, I think if Glenn would stop saying the Arcade done up stuff in like his media and stuff like that, and maybe not called it the FU, I think, no one would really think that way. Yes. Well, Scott, that's a fair point. And, I think that's one of the reasons why when the IRK Gold came out, it kind of faltered. They didn't have the response they were hoping for, but it still sold almost 200 units. So, I mean, that goal of 200 units is very realistic. Accessibility is probably Glenn's priority, which must be why he doesn't make his products super expensive while having the superior quality. If it would have had a simple Nintendo type of deck to match the hood, I would have been all in. Now, I don't know, maybe. Still think it's a good product and support Glenn. Yeah, Gallagher guy, that's one of the comments I made as well. Like, when seeing the decks that were coming out there, I know Glenn didn't want to reinvent the wheel, wanted to put the products he already had in production into those decks. But that's one that was certainly missing, especially when you're selling the Glentendo hood. A simple, 1-stick, 2-button hood would have done wonders. I know what Glenn's saying. Anybody can make one, but not everybody is, what's the right word for this? Not everybody is handy, Glenn. Like, not everybody wants to fuck around and make their own. Not everybody wants to then have to turn around and order another deck from somebody else. So there is some legitimacy to what he's saying there. I agree with it. It is totally an option. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it, but not everybody wants to do that. No, Canadians are not able to back the Kickstarter, P-dubs. It is for U.S. residents only. No pleasing you, Mike. I'm just telling you the truth, man. I don't know what you want me to say here. Not everybody wants to do that stuff, right? Have you seen some of my creations? I don't know what I'm doing. Exactly. Not everybody is handy. Coming from the maker of the Dressercade. Fox knows USA, USA, USA. But I will say, don't worry, guys. I know Glenn is relying on third parties a lot to make those decks, but that doesn't mean Glenn won't make additional decks in the future. I will never say that. I don't like the FU name. It's a terrible name. I've advised you nonstop not to use it. There's still time. The Kickstarter goes live in 3 days. That's not true, Michael Manna. Not true at all. Yes. Well, no, Glenn explained this several times. So the reason it's not available in Canada, unfortunately, there's some weirdness with the way tariffs work here in Canada. So tariffs, the Canadian government put tariffs on products coming in that have a coin door. I'm not sure how it is because these products aren't made in the USA, so they shouldn't be impacted by those tariffs. But if they're made in China, then go to the USA and ship from the USA. I don't know how that works, but basically it's a little bit tricky. Any product coming in from the US to Canada that has a coin door is applied with a 25% tariff for Canadians to pay. So the way that works is Glenn sends it in. I bought it for $1,200. Then I immediately have to pay a 25% tariff on the item because it has a coin door. Then the other thing about that is, how much is this going to cost to ship? Is it going to cost me $300 US to get it shipped in? And then there's no tax applied until it comes in. So I'm going to have to pay, the equivalent of $1,200 for the 26-inch monitor tax on Canadian. So I think that works out to about $1,600-$1,700 Canadian. When you do the exchange, then I have to pay tax on that plus duty. It's a mess. It's a mess. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Glenn has fans and supporters that 100% are behind the name, but yeah. Still time to change the name to Buildicade FU Mike Edition. Oh, James, you are pissing me off. Just sell your country to us already. That's not up to me, brother. I can't do that. How much is the duty? The duty, we don't know. The duty could be anything. Should I say duty? Is that the proper British spelling? Is this a new show? Danny didn't know you stream on Mondays. I don't care. That is a non-commercial, I would imagine. All right, guys. So anyways, that's the piece I wanted to talk about with Glenn's unit. Again, there is no mass marketing for this. It's going to be sold by word of mouth. If you want to help out Glenn outside of buying one of his GRS Buildicade FUs to support him, the best way you can support him, share it on your social media. Tell people about Glenn's Buildicade FU. Still 3 days. We can change the name. But if you want to do it, share the Kickstarter. You can share it now. I think it'll be a little bit more impactful to share it when it goes live, but just keep sharing it. And that's the best way we can help Glenn make sure he hits his target of 200 units and beyond, so we can see this product come to fruition. And especially, like Gallagher guy said earlier, we want different decks in the future. Well, if this is successful, Glenn's probably going to make more decks in the future. We'll see. Yeah, like I said, non-commercial. There you go. And again, guys, don't worry. There's people already out there with dimensions on how to make the art for the regular cab. If you want to just gussy that cab up and put whatever you want on it, or you can get artwork for the fully done Glentendo cab, the one with the Glentendo FU hood. So that's already out there. All right. Anyways, enough about that. Moving on, guys. Let's talk a little bit about AtGames, because AtGames, well, I don't want to say surprised everybody, but AtGames put out an announcement tonight that's long overdue. For 6 months, we've been waiting to see this actually be delivered to us. What? LA Knight was on my plane from Detroit to Orlando Saturday. I was so tempted to say to him, whose plane is it? Yeah. Yeah, he was supposed to be hurt. He took a big tsunami from Bronson Reed. There we go. And Serious Bill, Professional Bill knows. Yay, Killer Instinct Battletoads. So I'll make it bigger so even P-dubs can see it. Rare Pinball Pack 2 is launching June 24th. This actually came out about an hour before I started getting the show ready, so in time for me to add it. I got the message on my Teams from AtGames, and it didn't give me the full message. And it just said, the day you were waiting for has been here, ... And I was like, what? Tell me more. What day have I been waiting for? But looks like tomorrow we're finally going to get Rare Pinball Pack 2. So for those of you that have originally bought the Rare Pinball Pack, you're finally going to get your 2 additional games tomorrow, whether you bought it on the HD or whether you bought it on the 4K. So we're getting original Battletoads and original Killer Instinct. If you haven't purchased them, now you can check them out and pick them up tomorrow. I know a lot of people said, I'm not buying Sea of Thieves, which actually ended up being a pretty good game until the other games released. So maybe this is the time you're going to buy your full AtGames Rare Pinball Pack. So video, and here you can see Battletoads. I'm going to have to replay. Uh, Anyways, there's the game itself. Looks like a pretty simple layout. Nothing too complicated with levels and layers. Some of the things that bother me. Same physics that we normally see from Magic Pixel. So, you're getting that really floaty ball, and you can see it doing like 15 million bumps there in the bumper. And I've become so critical of that lately. Everything else about the game looks pretty good. Of course, we know we're getting the call outs. They sound pretty good. Table looks pretty good. I don't know what the back glass looks like yet. I don't know what the DMD looks like yet, but I have hope because I did want to see new DMD features. We saw that with a couple of the new deluxe tables that have come out. They updated the DMDs. So here's hope. There's hope. So Battletoads finally comes out tomorrow. And then, of course, let me go down here. We're also getting Killer Instinct. So very exciting. Nice stretch for AtGames, good releases. Hopefully they turn the corner after the system issue. Yes, 100%. So here's Killer Instinct. We know they're going to have some kind of combo system. We know they've got the voiceover. We know that ball is going to be absolutely super floaty down around the out lanes. Man, they got to do something about that. But, looks like they've used AI for the table art here. That would be my guess looking at. I mean, this character looks great. Orchid looks a little bit weird. TJ Combo, maybe not. Orchid, I don't know. She does look a little bit strange to me. TJ Combo looks right, and so does, yeah. Billy Woods Mod say, I hate to say this, but I think I need the rare pack just for Battletoads. And you guys know my feelings on this pack. World War III started and ended before Battletoads came out. Fulgar, people in the room turn and look at me awkward. Yeah, so tomorrow we're getting Battletoads and Killer Instinct. I'm excited about this, and I'm excited for the people that have been waiting, man. 6 months, it's a long wait. Hopefully the wait is worth it. No, James, no. No, James, dear God. We don't want that. There doesn't need to be more flippers. Sometimes there's too many flippers. I could not care less about Ironheart at all. Like, I do not wanna watch that show. All this nickel and diming from AtGames, putting new pinball packs behind the 4K paywall just turns me off. I don't know about that. I think, JJ, I understand your frustration with that. I absolutely do. And a lot of people felt the same way with the IRK Gold, with the gun games being locked behind the IRK Gold. I will tell you, no company is trying to push you to buy a new product just so you can play that software. Maybe Nintendo is, but I will tell you right now, AtGames doesn't hate money. If they could have put their Zen Studios games on their regular pinball machines, they would have. So these are available not only on the 4K but also on the ALP HD. So there you go. Hey Cammy, how's it going? Good to see you. Any new pinball games reach your way lately? What's your thoughts on Harry Potter? Yeah, that's how I'm feeling about it too. I will tell you, I have absolutely, I don't know why, zero interest in Ironheart. I think mainly, I'm just going to be honest with you. I have no nostalgia for Ironheart. I think that happened in the comics long after I was reading. So this may be a massive success for people that followed comics long after I did. But I pretty much stopped reading comics in the 2000s, like I still kept up buying certain series. Like anytime there was a new GI Joe or anytime there was a new Transformers comic, I would kind of mess around with those a little bit, but I didn't really buy anything else. I bought like the Walking Dead books, and I went back and bought all the GI Joe Marvel books because Image had released a bunch of those re-releases, so that was pretty good. Hey, Chaotic, what's happening, man? What's good? Very jealous of your time at the, what is it? Southern Fried Gaming Expo. I love Atlanta. One of my favorite places I ever went, just from a food perspective. Like all the restaurants were amazing. I don't know what it was, but the chicken was like crack. Anytime I went anywhere for chicken, it was fantastic. Harry Potter looks all right, packed full of value. Dune looks beautiful, and the flow is great. But I want Predator. Wow, Cammy, that's a surprise. Iron was filmed years ago and shelved. They are just putting it out there to fill dead air until Fantastic Four. Yeah, that's possible. Agreed, Dan Z. It's a great question that Mike totally ignored. Let's go back and look. I don't know what question you're talking about. Was it 19K Fox's question? Ask again, Foxy, in case I didn't see it. And if not, Dan, ask again. Oh, she sure isn't. My wife, and you know, I don't know what to say here. I had a bit of a disagreement with her about it because I know people are shitting on me. They're like, "Oh, what a man! His wife won't let him go. What a pussy!" But I will 100% tell you, if you're the kind of person that's like, I don't let my wife tell me what to do, and you would make a decision that would drastically upset your wife, you should probably reevaluate your life goals and stuff like that, because that's a fucking shitty thing to do. Whether I disagree or agree with my wife's views, like I totally think coming from Canada, going into the US, I'd be totally fine. There's no chance of me being detained. There's no concern about anything like that. I fully feel that way. So much so that I was committed to going to Pinball Expo with the guys. I had looked up flights and everything, but my wife is concerned. And whether I believe that concern is valid or invalid, the question is, do I really want to upset her? Do I really want to make her upset, make her worry? Is that worth it to me? That's the real question. It's not whether or not she's going to let me go. It's whether or not she's going to be okay with me going, because I would never go if it would cause her distress. There you go. Like, that's literally it. Am I a pussy because I won't go because my wife doesn't want me to? Sure. I'll be a pussy about a lot of things. I don't care. But at the end of the day, what's most important to me is making sure my wife and my family are happy, healthy. That's first and foremost. So, yeah. 100%. There you go. Console Kids, you say some fucked up stuff, man. I don't know. It's your ability to take her fears away. She doesn't feel loved. How am I supposed to react to that? I'm sure you're not saying what I think you're saying, but it is crazy. I'm just reading this and I'm like, is this my failing? I don't think that's what you're saying. It's just, I don't know how to read it. I fully think so. I fully think so, Dennis B. That's my feeling. So much so, I was willing to go to Pinball Expo, but it is what it is. I mean, I got to see how she feels closer to the event. But I will appreciate this comment, Console Kits. I appreciate that. I don't know how to read the first one though. I know I'm reading it wrong because text is always bad, but I don't know how to read that. Radical Condor. I don't know what that means either. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know. Well, see, that part's not true. See, 19K Fox knows it's probably more difficult to go the other way. He's been detained 3 times going into Canada. I don't know what to say here. My wife has read some reports about people being detained, so there you go. I would love to go to both Cleveland Gaming Classic, and I would love to go to Pinball Expo. I'm hoping it can happen. I love traveling. Absolutely love traveling. I'm a fat guy. I love going to the US because you guys have the most amazing restaurants and food in the world. I literally dream about going there, even just for the soda. You have no idea how much I like your soda. Your soda is so much better than it is in Canada. It's so much more syrupy. I want to go. Oh, wait a minute. You're just talking about you're talking about good things there. I'm not opposed to that. See, just saw Jurassic Park Rebirth, Holy Mackerels. The thing was awesome. It's going to make 1 billion in no time. I'm glad because the Jurassic World movies went downhill. The only thing I will say, I wish they called Jurassic World Rebirth Jurassic World Okie Afterbirth. if you are if you're an Office fan, you probably know what I'm talking about. I've heard about this big Mexican soda, Mexican Coke thing. It's amazing. There you go. Anyways, guys, moving on from that, AtGames out there and sat on my throne about that. The next thing I want to talk about, guys, is probably going to be surprising, but I have been super excited about the potential for basic fun. Now, I want to be very clear about this because I think people are letting their excitement for basic fun kind of cloud their judgment. So let me bring this up on screen. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. First off, I do want to be clear about what basic fun is. So let's find the one I like, the one I've been using. I've been using this one. So Basic Fun is coming to market. They are bringing a robust selection of games to market with robust choices. So not only are you going to be able to get a countercade, not only are you going to be able to get some kind of junior edition, not only are you going to be able to get the Ultra, which we see there with the Centipede version, which is going to be comparable to a deluxe cab, you're also going to be able to get the Supreme edition, which is going to be comparable to an XL. Now, I'm super excited about this because while Arcade OneUp seemed to be MIA, missing in action, this company has really stood forward, shown an awesome lineup, and they're doing something that nobody else has done before. They're bringing a new cabinet to market, which we haven't seen in a long time, a new IP. We're getting WrestleFest, and it looks like it's done properly. I'm very, very excited for this. So you're probably saying, why am I possibly out already? Well, there's a very unfortunate reason for that. And it's something I've experienced for the last little while. If you've been watching this channel for the last couple of years, you will know that I have struggled being optimistic and excited about mainly Arcade OneUp products because I couldn't get them here in Canada. And I did want to show you guys a little bit about this. Let me just add this to the screen. Go get that funky view again. What is this one? Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not. Yeah, that one's okay. Let's do this one. So you guys know I've shared this a million times. The premier place to get Arcade OneUp cabinets at one point or another was the Brick. They used to get even the website exclusive cabs here in Canada where you could go pick them up at retail. Take a look. When I type in Arcade now, all that's left, the only thing they have in their entire inventory is a Super Pac-Man Partycade, a Miss Pac-Man Partycade, which are, 3 or 4 years old now at this point, and the Wheel of Fortune Casino Cade. That's literally all we have left here in Canada. Now, keep in mind, I want to go back and talk about the Brick in just a minute. So then you go to Best Buy. I went to Best Buy today, and you guys who've watched my store surfing before with me and my daughter or my walk and talks, you know that Best Buy also had a pretty big selection of Arcade OneUps here in Canada. And when the Arcade OneUps started to disappear, they filled up that section with My Arcade. They had the little My Arcade units. I went there today. There's like 6 different My Arcades there. That's it. The whole unit is pretty much cleared out. And there's zero sign of Arcade OneUp in the store. There's no cards to buy anything. There's nothing. Pretty much Arcade OneUp is out of Best Buy here in Canada. And if you go on their website, the only products actually still available are the Mortal Kombat Collector Cade, which I would never buy in a million years. What a piece of shit. The Casino Cade, also, I would never buy in a million years. Had a close call a little while ago during Christmas. because they were selling them for $3.99, and luckily I talked myself out of it. The old FOMO never came back and killed me. You can also still buy a Turtles Countercade for $250. There's the collector Cade. Everything else is sold out, gone. There is nothing else to buy. A couple stools, and there you can see we were supposed to get the Arcade OneUp Deluxe cabinet. Never came to fruition. And I think down somewhere there was also the NBA Jam Slim Edition, which can no longer be seen, but everything else is sold out. Nothing available. So then I want to go to Walmart Canada. Walmart Canada has a little bit better stock because Spreetail can sell there directly where they're not actually selling in Walmart stores. So you can still buy some Arcade One-Ups. There's the Time Crisis Cab, Mortal Kombat Deluxe, this old Pac-Man selling, but the prices, look at the prices, ridiculous. If you go down, they even have the claw machine, which never officially came to Canada. So I can get it. But look at the friggin' price, $2,234.82. Like, what logical person is going to spend that money? Like, dear God. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. Cleveland Gaming Classic Quarter Arcades is coming back. They're going to do a booth at the Cleveland Gaming Classic again and bringing some new gear. That's exciting. I would assume you're probably going to get Data East Bad Dudes and Lunar Lander might be coming with you, Cleveland Gaming Classic. So I wanted to show this. And then there, last but not least, there's Amazon, which I'm not going to show my address there, but they've still got some stuff there. You can buy the Street Fighter 2 Deluxe cab, which is pretty dope. I do appreciate this. After I did my show last week where I talked about I missed Time Crisis and you can't buy it here in Canada, the guy from Spreetail actually reached out and he said, maybe you could talk to your friends and get a deal at Spreetail on that cab. So I can knock it down to $932.99 with a coupon applied, but that's still, I want it at $700. I don't think I'm going to get there, but we are very limited on what we can get here with Arcade One-Up here in Canada. And the reason why I'm going through all this is I just want to be clear here for people that have wild expectations about Basic Fun. So Basic Fun is a glimmer of hope. They're doing a new cab or WrestleFest. They're doing new things. But for those people out there hoping that this is going to be a different or, very changed product from Arcade One-Up, I think you're barking up the wrong tree. I think what we're going to see up from Basic Fun is what Arcade One-Up did continued. So when you talk about what kind of games they're coming out with, take a look at their library outside of WrestleFest. It's the same kind of games Arcade One-Up already did. I don't anticipate a lot of new stuff happening. For those people that are looking for something, unique, weird, bizarre, like a Robotron, something, kind of like Qbert, I don't know if that's in the cards. Let's be honest about this. I don't know if Basic Fun will be anything other than a different version of Arcade One-Up and sold the same way. Much so, you go back to the original article that they put up, which I want to bring back on screen now, and they talked about the fact that their Supreme or XL cabs would be locked behind a paywall or a way to buy them, which is club stores. So I immediately started to get concerns and fears about this because you guys know when the club store stuff happened in the US, like Pac-Man XL, the Golden Tee XL, all the stuff sold at the club stores doesn't come to Canada. So I was like, oh shit, hopefully that doesn't mean the same thing with Basic Fun. Unfortunately, I decided to do my due diligence and I reached out to my friends at the Brick and I said, where are you guys with Basic Fun? And they gave us a huge piece of news. They are lined up with Basic Fun for Q4. So Canadian fans rejoice. If you're excited about getting Basic Fun here in Canada, good news, they are coming. But there's a but with that. And there's a but with that that impacts me severely. The only thing coming to Canada is, in fact, going to be the Ultra line. So, unfortunately, we're talking about this right here. So, only thing coming to Canada is going to be the Ultra line, which means it's going to be the Arcade One-Up Deluxe line It's not going to have all the amazing features of the XL. So no 19-inch screen, no bigger feature. It's not going to have the coin door. This is all we're getting. So, I mean, looking at what the price point is now, what we can expect in Canada is you're going to be able to get the Ultra line here. Price point is probably going to be $749, and you're going to be able to get everything that comes out, but only the Ultra line. So why is that disappointing to me? That's good news because we haven't been able to get shit here, right? Well, you know the way I am. I'm Michael B. I'm a little bit bougie. I don't really want the Ultra line. I don't want a two-player WrestleFest. I don't want a WrestleFest that's maybe a bit slimmer. I had my hopes set on the Supremes. I was really hoping for the Supreme cabs. That's what I wanted. I want more XL cabs. I understand they take up a little more room. I understand this. I understand that. It's just not coming. No, there are club stores by me. I literally have a Costco 3 minutes from my house, right next to a Five Guys that just opened up, which is not helping me with my diet at all. Having a Five Guys literally 3 minutes away from my house. And there's a Costco there. It's just the club stores do not ship their products across the border. We had some Golden Tees and Pac-Man XLs show up last year, but in limited supply at specific stores that were more like test stores and brand new stores that opened. So they are not coming to Canada. So I confirmed with the brick, and they said, yes, we are getting the Ultra line of cabs quarter 4 2025. So they're coming to Canada. But what's not coming is the Supremes. And I said, have you heard anything? And she said, no. And she also indicated retailers aren't really interested in picking them up. She said at that price point, which is going to be probably $9.99 Canadian, kind of like the iconic arcades were, she doesn't think they can sell. I don't think the XLs, original XLs, Golden Tee and NBA Jam Shack Edition with the really bad screens sold well. So there's not really a proof of concept to get it sold. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, all we've seen really so far are WrestleFest, which I know I don't want the Ultra or WrestleFest. If I'm getting WrestleFest, I want the Supreme or bust. I have no interest in the Centipede because of the horizontal screen and because the artwork's shittier. Apparently the Supreme has better artwork, still has a horizontal screen. I'd have to look at what the Star Wars is like. I don't want a two-player Turtles. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'm looking at my options here, and unfortunately, due to retail availability, what it looks like it's going to be here in Canada, I may be out. Like, I don't see myself jumping in on anything they have to deliver here outside of maybe Star Wars, because I'm missing a Star Wars in my collection, but I got to see what it looks like. But yeah, this sucks. So anyways, like I was so excited for this launch, so excited for Basic Fun. This was going to be the saving grace, the next step for Arcade OneUp. Again, I want to reiterate this for anybody thinking that Basic Fun is going to be the savior of the home arcade community and do everything different Arcade OneUp didn't do. No, they're going to be the same thing. It's the exact same fucking thing, just with a different company. It's going to be the same buttons, same quality product, same feel to it. And if that's not something you liked, if you weren't a fan of Arcade OneUp, I don't think this product is going to change your opinion on what those builds would be. I think it's going to be the exact same thing. But if you did like Arcade OneUp, like I did, and you were happy with the build quality, you were happy with everything it did, you'd be fine. The only problem is, are they going to be available? I give them full credit. They are, in fact, going to be available, but limited. And that's what pisses me off. Yeah, Gen 2 baby Cades. I'm hoping more information comes out, and I'm hoping there's a possibility of direct-to-consumer, although direct-to-consumer, again, fucking sucks because it costs like $300 US to get something shipped here. So I don't know. I'm not jumping the guns. I am telling you what the retailers have told me. The retailers have told me They are not going to carry the Supremes in store. Hasn't even been discussed with them. This is something Basic Fun isn't even talking to them about. And going back to the original article, locked behind club stores. So I'm not jumping the gun. I'm going to be patient, but there's a real possibility with what's available. Again, the frustration that I feel because, guys, I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this, buying these arcades right from the very start. I bought the Street Fighter 2 cab, and I I ended up going all in after buying Turtles and buying everything else. I've been buying these for years. I've been following them, but I'm really struggling here, really struggling to stay optimistic and interested when I can't even buy the product, when I can't get access to it. I totally understand now how the rest of the world outside the US feels, like in the UK and stuff like that, when they say, oh, we couldn't even get these here. No, we're just assuming it's going to be a 2-player Turtles deluxe cab because that's what they did with WrestleFest. I'll eat my hat if they don't do it. It's not confirmed. There you go. So that's where I stand. Like, it looks like, unfortunately, I'm going to get fucked on the retail side. Hopefully, there's a direct to consumer. Hopefully, their shipping is much more reasonable than what Arcade OneUp are offering. And maybe if Spreetail's working with them, they can offer them through Amazon.ca and they can do a better job of offering them. But I do want to caution again, and I love Spreetail. I love what they're trying to do here, but I think there's a reality. They got to understand that when they sell their products here, again, they're so pricey. And I don't know if that's something they can or can't do anything about, but I mean, I'm not going to drop $1,000 on a deluxe cab. Like, this is not something I'm willing to do. Like, geez. Yeah, 100% Supreme in Canada or we ride. Again, I also understand, like AtGames told me, our sales in Canada represent 3% of the total sales of the product. So it's not really something to be concerned about. Like, you guys probably don't give a shit about whether or not the country gets them because it's really such a small percentage. It's not really going to impact your bottom line. And it's probably more difficult to get them here than it is worth the little bit of 3%. Oh, B Kirby, thank you very much for the offer. You're awesome. But again, honestly, man, you have no idea how much shipping here costs. I got a riser from one of my friends a little while ago, and he was super nice about it. Went to Walmart, picked me up a riser, and this was back in 2018, 2019. It cost him $180 US to ship the riser to me. Just a riser. $180 US was the lowest price he could get to ship me the riser. And that's the thing. Like, I am 100% willing to buy these products, talk about them on the internet, be excited about them, do all that fun stuff. But I'm not going to overpay and go above and beyond just so I can get access to them. If I can't get access to them at a reasonable price, I'll just do something else. So, yeah. They can be smuggled in through Alaska. Who knows? Anyways, guys, that's kind of where I am with that. I hope that's not the case. I hope there's a direct to consumer option. I'm really working hard behind the scenes to try to get in contact with somebody from Basic Fun. I would love to have them on the show, talk to them, learn more about the product line, hopefully get some more information. You know, we're just roughly around 2 months away from when these should officially start coming out and showing us, you know, in order for us to put orders in for pre-orders to go up. So hopefully before then, if it's not me, somebody else can get answers and find out what this is going to look like. Are they going to do a direct to consumer? How's this all going to work? And fingers crossed, I can access these and not just access the Ultra, but also access the Supreme, which is what I really want. Otherwise, man, I am effed in the B on home arcade this year. You know, we'll see with Iconic. I got to check. Just give me 1 second on Iconic. I got to double check on this. So you guys remember last week I was having that inner debate, iconic or not too iconic, whether or not I was going to pick up the Street Fighter 2 World Warrior cab. I wrestled with it until Wednesday. And then I woke up Wednesday and I said, fuck it. I'm going to buy that cab. I'm going to get the Street Fighter 2 World Warrior. I know I got my deluxe Street Fighter 2 downstairs that I love, but you know what? I'm going to get this cab because it has all the same games. Plus, I can bring games to the Raspberry Pi, games like even Marvel versus Capcom, stuff like that. I won't have the online, but let's be honest, the online on the Arcade OneUp cabs isn't very good anyways. I can at least play a bunch of stuff. I can put Punisher on it. I can put lots of cool Capcom games. Controller configuration works great. That'll be great. It'll be something fun. Plus, it'll be another XL. So I tried and I failed because it was sold out again. So I had waited too long yet once again. Let me just go back and check. So what I've been doing is I've been going back and forth and I've been checking to see whether or not it comes back up available for sale. That's what I'm looking for right now. I got to go find it because you can't go to the Iconic Arcade website and just click on the link to pre-order, right? So let me just bring up the link I got here. Let's see. Is it available again? Nope, still sold out. So unfortunately, that's out of the question. Won't be getting that one. So I avoided that, and not because I wanted to, but yeah, that's gone, sold out again. So that's not coming. No Supreme Basic Funds seem to be coming, and I have no faith in Arcade OneUp doing anything XL, let alone anything interesting this year. So yeah, I guess, and I can't buy the GRS Buildicade FU because it's only available in the US. So you remember a couple months ago when I bought that Jurassic Park pinball machine and I was like, change of plans? Looks like I made the right decision because I can't get shit. Oh my. Anyways, I'm happy for you guys because again, you're not getting anything new, but at least you're getting something. Those options for either the Ultra, if you're a deluxe fan and you like those, and you want a 2-player Turtles, like we just talked about, it looks like the Ultra is based on WrestleFest. The Ultra versions are going to be 2-player and not 4-player. So that's great for you guys that want that. But for the Supremes, if you want that, if you want to keep building that XL collection, Basic Fun, that's where this really turns a corner. And they offer 5 different cabinets in XL form factor right out of the gate. I was so fucking excited for that. And nothing. Yeah, I don't want that. Good luck to them, but that's not my cup of tea. Funny enough, I went up to a friend's house today and he offered me an extra $1,000 off his TMNT Stern Premium. But then I didn't have the money. I didn't have $1,000. There you go. Yeah. That is. I went. I don't know. Unacceptable Fringe. If you saw, I don't know if you saw, but I went to Pinball Expo last year and I met these people doing these megacades. I can't remember the name of the company now off the top of my head, but I just fell in love with this idea of this 50-inch screen and this giant arcade. And I was like, I want that, but I don't have $8,000. What I do have is I have a 55-inch TV and I have a couple pedestals. So I ended up getting the X Arcade 2TV XR or VR. Had the AtGames Legends Gamer Pro. And then I went to Best Buy and I just bought one of these rolling carts for TVs, put that together and made Retrocade. Thank you very much, B Kirby. Yeah, and I just made my own Megacade. And I was like, that's good enough. Put a soundbar on it with a subwoofer. I'm good to go. Well, P-dubs, that's the argument I had with Glenn earlier. Not everybody likes to tinker. Some people just want to get it and play. Like Glenn was talking about earlier, because Gallagher guy said, man, I really wish this came with just a Nintendo control panel. That way I could just get it, order the art, and be done. Now I got to go order a control panel or build one myself. That's a major fucking hindrance. So for the people saying, oh man, this is great for people who want to tinker, there's a lot of people who are just like, I'm not going to buy it because I don't want to tinker. Yeah, saying spirits, same with me. I'm too dumb to tinker. I don't want to fuck around with that. I just want it to work and I want it to be easy. Yeah, I wish. I recently bought a big TV, so less money for new pin than we were go see. I'd like to see it come with art, like multi-cade art even. Yeah, and that's another tinkering piece too. It's just going to be black on the side. I'm trying to tinker right now. It's not for the week. No, it's not. Some people like anyways, I just mentioned the pinball guy I went to see who that's who sold me his Jurassic Park pin. He ended up not selling his turtles. He decided to keep his turtles because he ended up just selling his American Pinball Hot Wheels pinball. He finally got that off the market. So anyways, he just recently bought a blackout, he told me, and he talked about it. He's had new pins and he kind of wants to go away from that and he wants to get back into fixing and tinkering. Some people love it. That's what they're interested in. And then if they don't, boom. 7 p.m. and I checked the mailbox and new Evercade carts arrived. I didn't have the post office contact me for more money, etc. Nothing like that. Are you talking about the Neo Geo cart? What'd you get? I need to know. I just wanted a few FU cabs to make a collection of Nintendo machines. Having to tinker is a no for me. There is another option with what G.I. Joel is doing. He's making cases, but that's a tinker thing too, right? I don't know if we'll ever get a non-tinkering Nintendo machine, unfortunately. Anyways, guys, I'm going to have to call it there. One second before I go, JJ says, I built 2 of the GRS 1/6 scale units, and both had steps that were vague, confusing, or just a pain in the ass to complete. I won't like it's a concern with the FU. Michael B the Game Genie. Oh, there you go. Windjammers, Konoff cart, and the Gremlin 2 cart. I think they could have had a better name for that Windjammers Konoff too. Yeah, you watched my stream on it. It took me like an hour and a half to put that thing together, and Glenn was like, "Oh, it takes the average person like 20 minutes." I don't think it is. I don't think it does. Anyways, guys, I'd keep you here all night. I shouldn't. I should get some sleep. Got an early morning. It's been a long and hectic day. Thank you for hearing me rant and roar. Hopefully, we get more information from Basic Fun, what they're going to be doing. You guys in the US, you're going to have Made in the Shade. But unfortunately, for those looking for me to cover Basic Fun, talk about the cabs, and do reviews and stuff like that, it doesn't look like that's going to be possible for me because there's nothing that they're making that I want that looks like it's going to be available here in Canada. So that kind of sucks. Again, Kickstarter for GRS Buildicade FU goes live in 3 days. If you want to help Glenn out, obviously buy the Kickstarter, buy your GRS Buildicade FU cab. But even if you're not going to do that, share his Kickstarter out through your social media. There's no big money mass marketing budget here. So make sure you share it, tell people about it. And last but not least, tomorrow, finally, Battletoads, Killer Instinct Pinball, coming to AtGames. Looks like it's actually happened. They've announced it. Hopefully, there's no more delays. So stay tuned tomorrow. We'll finally get to check these out, and hopefully, they were worth the wait. Anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your Monday night. This has been Chillin' Chat with Michael B. Next week's show, I'm all in on Basic Fun. What did I miss? Nothing, MG. You didn't miss anything. I wouldn't worry about it. Good night, everybody.